Hello guys, it's Jew Mixie here or 300 Shots, whatever you want to call me. Today we're going to be doing something a lot different here. We are going to be doing commentary over gameplay, and this is something I've always wanted to do. And believe it or not, I feel like I'm meant for this. I've always got a strange feeling watching these types of videos that I love so much, and the feeling always felt like at some point I'd be doing this as my actual career. And what better time to start than right now? You know what I mean? So without further ado, let's get into the said subject of this video today. And the said subject of this video is a story time. Now, this story time takes place in prime life, 2015 to 2016. Now, in order to continue the story, I'm gonna need to give you guys a bit of a background of what was going on in my life at the time. I was pretty much just playing Xbox with my friends, hanging out with my friends, and I just had this amazing friend group where everybody was different and did their own thing, but we all got along with each other. Now, out of this friend group, I had one really close friend that I was more close to than about everybody else in this friend group. For the story purpose, we'll call him Bob, and we'll call him Bob for like now on. Any story that involves Bob, he'll be named Bob. Now, me and Bob, we would just do random stuff. We'd play Pokemon, we'd play Xbox, we'd prank call people. Our sleepovers were pretty much, the classic middle schooler sleepover. Now, me and Bob, both of us having strict parents, it was pretty rare that we'd have a sleepover with more people than just us. And this story time is about a story where we got to have a sleepover at his house with somebody else. Now, this somebody else, we'll call him Jerry. Jerry was a bit of a weird fella. He liked anime when anime wasn't really as popular, but the catch is, he didn't like the mainstream animes like Naruto, DBZ, or Bleach, or Pokemon. He liked the weirder animes, the ones that I really couldn't even tell you the name now because I've never heard of them or got to watch it, thankfully. Now, that being said, we'd always, pick on him a bit. The same way we'd pick on the rest of us, but the difference is the butt of his jokes were his obsession with anime. We'd always find a way to mess with him about it because he was so sensitive about said subject. And the truth is, I wasn't the smartest person back then. And that being said, a lot of people in my friend group would mess with me about that, including him. Now, at the time, I wasn't the skinniest kid, but I wasn't fat either. Now, Jerry, on the other hand, Jerry was super fat and he had a horrible build. Like, he was built like a bowling pin, right? So I would always get on Jerry about being built like a bowling pin and his anime obsession. Now, Jerry being the way he is, whenever he would try to get on somebody else in our friend group, they would say the most absurd thing to him, like the craziest insult, or they just flame him, right? And at the end of the day, it's all jokes and stuff like that. Nobody's saying it to be mean. But he would know not to mess with anybody else, which left me his main culprit. I would always be getting made fun of by Jerry. So I would always be making fun of Jerry. Me and Jerry would go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth over anything. Now, with all that being said, we could finally dip our feet into the actual story. The actual story takes place on a summer afternoon around 5 to 7 p.m. We were all in an Xbox party, me, Bob, Jerry, and a couple other homies, and we're just talking. And Bob was like, hey, to me, you want to come over and spend the night? We could play Pokemon, we could do whatever. I was like, yeah, man, sure. So 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock rolls around, and I head over to my friend's house. Now, I get over to my friend's house and I walk up into his room. He is playing Xbox with everybody we were playing with previously before I left. And that was pretty much just, the vibe for about an hour or so. I just watched him play some Xbox, joked around with him, yada, yada, yada. His mom gets home. And I don't know how, I don't know what the context was, but she allowed us to invite another friend over. So we started thinking, who could we get over here? After pretty much maybe 10 minutes of thinking, we settle on Jerry. Jerry is the person who we want to come over here. So we call up Jerry, and Jerry says, yeah, man, I'm down. Sounds super fun. So Jerry's arriving here maybe within the next 30 minutes to an hour. I get to thinking. I get to thinking because Jerry, you see, I've been the butt of Jerry's joke pretty much the entirety of this week. I mean, he's just been flaming me in front of the whole entire friend group. And honestly, I wasn't going to take it. I thought to myself, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get Jerry back tonight in person. Either I'm going to pour water on him or do something else, but I'm going to get creative with it. I'm going to be original. Now, at the time, I was so close with this person, Bob, that I could pretty much go through his cabinets and stuff in the kitchen without, feeling uncomfortable, which is what I was doing right now. I'm looking for something that I can get Jerry with, and I just happened to find a bottle of laxatives. So I walk back up to Bob's room and I show him the bottle of laxatives and I say, "Hey man, can I use these on Jerry?" He chuckles and says, "Yeah, you go ahead, but I have nothing to do with it." And that pretty much sums up this part of the story. All I gotta do now is find out a way to get these laxatives to Jerry in his, stomach and wait for Jerry to get here. Now, even though Bob stated he has nothing to do with, this laxative operation, he very much so wanted to see Jerry here take some laxatives and like poop himself or something. Whatever is gonna happen. He was all for it. So he plays a big part in basically setting it up. He brings us downstairs to watch a movie. Now, about 15, 30 minutes into this movie, I get up and I go to the kitchen. Nobody follows me. Everybody's in the living room watching the movie. And while I'm in the kitchen, I grab three ginger ales from the refrigerator, or they might have not even been ginger ales, just pop. But I pour laxatives into one of them, and I look and I see two closed and one open. So I proceed to open up all of them. I come back into the living room, hand Bob his drink, hand Jerry his drink, and then I take my drink. And then I go upstairs to use the bathroom, even though I didn't need to go because I couldn't watch Jerry drink his drink. Otherwise, I was going to burst out laughing. Now, about 15 minutes go by, I come back down. Jerry's drinking his drink, Bob's drinking his drink. The plan is in motion. I sit down and then I start drinking my drink. I pick it up and I start drinking it. Now, I finish drinking my drink. About an hour goes by. Nothing's happening to Jerry. 2 hours go by. Nothing's happening to Jerry. 5 hours go by already, and nothing has happened to Jerry yet. Nothing. Nothing at all. So we get tired and we go to sleep. And I just call it a loss. I was like, somehow these laxatives didn't affect Jerry, even though he drank his soda. Anyways, we wake up in the morning. Nothing's happened to Jerry yet. We're all about to go home and just, call it a day and hop back on the game. And then Bob suggests, why don't we go to Taco Bell and get some breakfast? And I was like, yeah, sure. And Jerry was like, yeah, sure. So we make our way over to Taco Bell. And it's not a long walk. It's basically really close to my house. So we're walking back over to my house at this point, and then we just make the turn to get to Taco Bell. Now we arrive at Taco Bell and Bob Bob's the only person with money. So Bob is ordering the food. And while Bob's ordering the food, I have to go to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom. And when I'm in the bathroom, like as soon as I get on the toilet, it just hits me. Dude, my stomach started feeling upside down. I start pooping my brains out and everything. And like I'm on the toilet now at this point for like 30 minutes and I have no idea what's happening. And lo and behold, I hear the door open and Jerry walks in. He goes, "Oh, it smells like poop in here." And me, I like having my peace and quiet when I'm going number two. I don't like hearing stuff. So I tell Jerry to get out. And he says something along the lines like, it backfired on you. And I had no idea what he was talking about at first. And then it hit me. The laxatives. Somehow, when I was up in the bathroom trying to play it off, this man figured it out and swapped my drink with his. And that's pretty much the story right there. I'm in Taco Bell, pooping my brains out. Jerry's in the bathroom just laughing at me, like, ha ha, I got the final joke, yada, yada, yada. I'm on the toilet for 45 minutes. My stomach is hurting. I don't know why it took the laxative so long to kick in. Maybe because I like didn't eat anything for the entirety of the night after I drank the soda, but I didn't eat anything at Taco Bell either. I never got to the point where I like was able to eat anything because I went to the bathroom immediately when I walked in. And to add more mystery to this story, Bob didn't tell him that there's laxatives in his drink. Bob didn't even see him make the switch. So this Jerry dude made the switch like in the most low key way possible without anybody knowing and just like forgot about it. So the whole time I'm sitting here thinking to myself the day before, oh, when are the laxatives kicking in? He's thinking the same thing, but on me because I'm actually the one who drank the laxatives. And yeah, long story short, if you're gonna give somebody laxatives or prank them, don't leave your drink unattended. It is probably gonna backfire on you, especially if the person you're trying to get is familiar with the nature of jokes and pranks. So yeah, it backfired on me. I ended up going home and just going to sleep and sleeping off the entire like stomach ache. And I got on Xbox the next day and everything was fine. Yeah, everything was fine. And that right there pretty much wraps up the video. If you guys are into these story times, make sure you drop a like and a sub and comment down below if you want more of these. As I said before, I want to start doing commentary over gameplay, which doesn't necessarily mean a story time every time, just me talking about a said subject over the gameplay. And if you guys are also into that, let me know in the comments too. But I think it's time I take my leave now. Thank you all for watching and have a wonderful rest of your day.